Dr. Kelly Joseph. Present. Ms. Watson. Present. Ms. Donna Jackson. Present. All members are present.
Okay, first item is to receive personnel updates.
Good evening. Our report is, it's a little short, very short actually. We only had, over the last month, we only had one resignation towards the end of the school year. We've listed that already as a vacancy for next school year. And we are in the process of starting our advertisement process and recruitment information for the summer so that we can get our teachers hired prior to the start of next school year. If you look at the dashboard report, this is just a few highlights for the last month. We've been very busy. We did have our district recruitment fair on April 30th. We're excited. Because the number of participants did increase. We had 30 plus participants to come by and show interest in working in the school district in various positions, not just teaching, but various positions around the board. So we're very excited about that. We allowed them time to sit and complete their applications while they were here. We made sure we had all our departments that had vacancies available to them to ask those questions. We also made sure that they are aware of like the salaries schedule and what the supplement pay look like once you're hired. Um, we also, in addition to that, we had for our non-certified teachers, we had LRCE and Reach University that was available for our recruitment fair. There, Ms. Jackson, along with the principal, had the non-certified teachers on a schedule where they will come in and meet with the alternative certification representatives to discuss moving forward with their certification process. And then for Teachers Appreciation Week, we were able to give our teachers a special gift for all their hard work to help them relax. You all received part of that gift too. That's sitting in front of you in the black and gold box. It's like it's a mini massager that you use to help relax. So we wanted our teachers to know that we really appreciated them.
Mine sounds like it's ticking.
It's not. It's not ticking. We also started the end of year evaluation process a little early to give our principals and department heads time to begin the evaluation process early, so they won't be at the last. There's a lot of things that takes place towards the end of the school year, so we didn't want to bombard them with everything at once, and we wanted to do things a little different this time and provide those evaluation forms to them a little early. At the end of the year, our teacher staffing positions weren't terrible, but we did have some vacancies. So at the college and career, we were 75% staffed as of last month. And then at SHADA, we was 97% staffed. And ELC, we were also 97% staffed. The vacancies will be posted after tomorrow. So starting Monday, you'll start seeing the vacancies on our website. And we also put them in our official journal so that we can be compliant with any return to work teachers should they apply for those positions. Do you have any questions?
So at the fair, did you get any pretty decent candidates, you think?
We did. We were excited. Some of them were coming from Mississippi. We had a few that come in from Mississippi as well, so it reached all the way to Mississippi, and we were able to explain to them our process for the certification process. The ones that came in that I spoke with, they were not certified, but they had their bachelor's degrees, and we explained our process and our support system for our non-certified teachers.
It's different from Mississippi, yes.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And we're still helping the teachers with that certification?
We are. We are. We during the last meeting last month, I spoke to them about their individual certification plan. That's a plan that where they can take a form and write down their next steps to help them keep a track of their certification process.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, committee? All right, thank you, Ms. Watson. That concludes the personnel committee.
All right, that concludes our committee meetings, and we will resume our regular board meeting at 6 o'clock. Watson.
Father God, we come to you. Thank you, Lord God, for this day, for this hour. We thank you for this meeting, Lord God. We pray your blessings upon this meeting. We pray that everything is done, Lord God, with our learners in mind. We pray for unity, understanding, and grace, Lord God. And as we prepare to leave, we pray for your traveling grace back to our destinations. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The meeting room will come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the St. Helena Parish School Board. Roll call.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Present.
Ms. Lolita Porter, Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes, Ms. Virginia Bell,
Present.
Mr. Alton Travis.
Here.
A quorum has been established.
Item B, approve minutes and agenda from April 9th, 2026 committee meetings, April 9th, 2026 regular board meeting, and the current agenda. Can I get a motion to approve those collectively?
I so move.
Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter that we approve those collectively. Second by
Second.
Ms. Lolita Porter. Any questions? No questions shall pass by general consent. Public comment. Got a request from Mr. Frank Robinson to address the board. And I would just want to warn you before you come up, Mr. Robinson, you have a 3 minutes time. Mr. Alton Travis, our timekeeper. You can come to the podium.
Thank you. So I'm Frank Roberts, bus driver, one of two owner operators. And what I come to talk about is the fuel. It done went up very high, and I was trying to get some help with the fuel. I get 200 gallons a month. I have a buck tank, and the 1st of January, I paid like $486 for 200 gallons. On the 2nd, I paid like $567 for 200 gallons. And on the 3rd, that same 200 gallons went up to $867. I just paid Friday, and I ordered 2 more 100 gallons. It went up to $894 for the same 200 gallons. So what I'm asking for is some help with the diesel. I think we have an agreement with the LAE that when fuel go up, we're supposed to go up with the fuel, and they go down to a certain level. They're supposed to go so low that they don't go any lower. But now the fuel went up so high that each and every one of us know that the fuel went up. And I'm coming to the board for ask for some help with the fuel. So this is what I'm asking. Is there any way that y'all can help with the fuel? It's only 2 drivers, from my understanding, me and Miss Morgan. And we have an agreement through the LAE that when fuel go up, we're supposed to go up with pay for the fuel.
Board
Yeah.
members, I just want to make you aware that I did speak with Mr. Robinson about this issue. The proper protocol procedure for this is that we have a discussion or a meeting with the union, and that has not occurred yet. So I'm asking that you allow us, and today, of course, is the last day of school, so we do have time to, discuss that and have a meeting with the union so we can do it properly. This is not the proper way to bring information like this before the board. So I'm asking that you allow us to have a meeting with the union so that we can get through this process.
Well, do you need some kind of motion, or that's just something that,
Ma'am,
Madam President, do you need something?
No, we shouldn't need a motion if it's protocol. You go to the union first. Ms. Clark is here as the union rep. Is that proper protocol? That's the way it's done?
Well,
Okay.
but I didn't know the proper protocol because I talked to several people about it, and it wasn't detailed to me to go through protocol. I mean, I asked about it, and I was told a certain thing, so I was asked to get on the agenda to discuss it. If I know we had to go through the proper protocol with the LAE, I would have done that. I wasn't told that.
Yes,
No one
sir. It's in
informed
the
me.
agreement. It says the fuel stations used for this calculation shall be mutually agreed to by the board and the association. So it is in policy.
Yes,
It's in
ma'am.
the agreement.
Yeah. So we have to meet with the LAE to decide.
That's the proper steps.
No problem. I'm not mad. I'm just bringing it to the board. I'm not upset with anybody. I'm not trying to go over nobody's head. I'm just trying to get some help with the diesel. So that's where I'm at. So it's nothing personal to nobody. Diesel is high,
Yes, it is.
and I'm coming out of pocket. I think me and Miss Evelyn. So we're trying to get some help with the diesel. That's all what this is. Nothing personal or nothing against going nobody over nobody's head or trying to be, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to get some help with some diesel.
You understand, Mr.
Yeah.
And so do you mind getting with Ms. Clark?
No, I have talked to Ms. Clark, but I don't mind getting with Ms. Clark and have a conversation. I talked to Ms. Clark, and she explained to me that it's supposed to be an agreement 4 times a year, that you can look at it and the price supposed to be, fluctuating. It's in the agreement from the way she explained it to me.
It is absolutely in the agreement.
Yes.
And it's also an agreement that, we have to negotiate those things.
Is it 4 times a year or 2 times a year?
I think, what it was.
2
Ms.
times
Clark?
a year.
It was 2 times a year when I negotiated that.
Okay. I thought you said 4, maybe I'm wrong, 2 times a year. But I mean, we haven't negotiated in years because the price have never reached the length that it is now. And we don't know when it's gonna go down.
We did negotiate a price. It was in February of 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah,
in 20,
but
so we
that's
have
why I said it's been
negotiated.
years, because
Right.
it's 2026. Yeah, it's been a
Correct.
long time.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah. So that's all I'm asking, just for some help with the diesel. All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Item D, new business, adopt the 2026 millage rates.
You have to read.
Okay. All right, I have to read this St. Helena Parish School District Resolution. Be it resolved that the following millage are hereby levied on the 2026 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by St. Helena Parish School District. School District Parish-wide MT 1063-021, 9.48 mills. School District Regular SB 1063-020, 3.38 mills. School District Constant AM that 1063-031, 5.00 mills. School District SB 1063-048, 16.40 mills, and the School District Bond 1063-047, 7.0 mills. So there's a decrease there from the last time. Be it further resolved that the proper administrative officials of the parish of St. Helena, state of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as herein above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2026, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent, lenient, and privilege on all properties subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law. The foregoing resolution was read in full. The roll was called on the adoption thereof, and the resolution was adopted by the following votes. Roll call.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes,
Absent.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Yes.
Mr. Alton Travis.
Yes.
5 members present, 1 absent.
Certificate, I hereby certify that the foregoing is a true and exact copy of the resolution adopted at the board meeting held May 14, 2026, at which meeting a quorum was present and voting. Greensboro, Louisiana, the 14th day of May, 2026. Kelly Joseph, Superintendent. So, can I get a motion?
A motion that we adopt the resolution is read by, Madam
Second.
Motion by Ms. Virginia Bell, second by Mr. Alton Travis. Roll call?
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes, Miss Virginia Bell.
Yes.
5 present, 5 yeas, and 1 absent.
All right. Item
Miss-
2.
What? You skipped me.
Mr. Alton Travis, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Mr. Alton Travis.
Yes.
5 yeas and 1 absent.
Item 2, adopt other authorized millage rate bond rates. So as a resolution as well. Whereas the St. Helena Parish School Board has been informed of the option to withdraw a certain amount of state funds invested into the state treasury pursuant to authority of LARS 39.99 Act 161 of the 2002 first extraordinary session of the legislature and our investment agreement. Therefore, be it resolved that the St. Helena Parish School Board does request the execution of the amendment to investment agreement with the state treasurer pursuant to LARS 39.99, and therefore it be resolved that the St. Helena Parish School Board does request this sort of tobacco thing.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
So wait, let me get this right. So what am I doing? Did I read the wrong one? So that was the one. Oh, public comments for the millage rate bonds. Are there any public comments on that? No public comments, so I should continue with this. Item 4, the approve the resolution to withdraw 85,000 from the EEF tobacco settlement funds. It is hereby, therefore, be it resolved that the St. Helena Parish School Board does request the withdrawals of funds from the state treasurer in the amount of $85,000 to be used as specified in our recently approved EEF fund plan for tobacco settlement funds. It is hereby affirmed and certified the foregoing is true, and an exact copy of the resolution unanimously adopted by the St. Helena Parish School Board, Greensboro, Louisiana, during regular session on Thursday, June 12th, 2025, at which a quorum was present and voted. 2020. So can I get a motion to approve the resolution to withdraw $85,000 from
The literacy lab that we just had a grand opening for, and technology and some other equipment we wanted to purchase for the schools. We do this maybe every 3 years. We request a withdrawal of the funds from the EEF. Right now, we have about, I think, hovering around 250 to 300,000 in there. So every 2 to 3 years, when we need, something that will go outside of our general fund, we request a drawdown. And so this 85,000 went toward the bulk of it for the literacy learning lab that we had, some technology and some other equipment for the schools.
Can I get a motion?
Ms. Cheney, I move that we approve the resolution to withdraw the 85,000.
Motion by Mr. Alton Travis, second by Ms. Joyce Porter. Any comments? No comments? Roll call?
Ms. George Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Lolita Porter.
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes, Ms. Virginia Bell, Mr. Alton Travis.
Yes.
All yeas, 1 absent.
Receive and consider for approval legal services contract, the metal litigation.
Board President, we have 2 presentations for you tonight, and I'm going to ask that we have, what's the attorney? I'm sorry. We'll ask them to come up and present, please.
Hi, good evening, school board. My name is Royce Duplessis. I'm an attorney out of New Orleans. I'd like to just begin by thanking you all for your service to the children of St. Helena Parish. And I'm joined here today with Thomas Carey Wicker, who is also an attorney in New Orleans. We're here this evening to make you all aware of some litigation that's going on throughout this country, to make St. Helena aware of the opportunity for you all to potentially join, and to encourage you to consider this litigation and what is happening with as it relates to Meta, otherwise known as Facebook. There has been federal litigation that's been filed that's in its very early stages that is going after the negative and harmful impacts on our children as a result of social media. A lot of different social media platforms, but these cases are being brought on behalf of schools and school districts throughout the country. And it was referenced earlier, some of the funds and the settlements of tobacco. A lot of people compare what is going on now with the Facebook litigation, the Meta litigation, as similar to what took place many years ago with the tobacco litigation and the harmful impacts that had on people throughout our country. I'm going to ask Mr. Wicker if he wouldn't mind just adding a little bit more information on the current status of the litigation, how it would work if this was something that you all would choose to pursue. But we're here just for the purposes of tonight, just to provide you all some information.
Thank you all so much for having us. As Mr. Duplessis said, I'm TC Wicker. Thank you all. It's an honor to be before you. The litigation is based in Northern California, adjacent to San Francisco. It operates similar to a class action lawsuit. And so for St. Helena to join the litigation, we would essentially file and fill out a series of forms that include documentation that St. Helena has. A whole bunch of this litigation has proven in our experience, well, a lot of this is not necessarily documentation that school boards currently have. It's proof that what we need. And a lot of the proof and the evidence has to do with news journalism that was started by the Wall Street Journal in 2021, where they uncovered a bunch of Facebook or Meta's internal data. So really the cases are being built on what is going on in there. It shows that they knew that their products were causing harms, particularly to adolescents and within adolescents, particularly to adolescent girls. And it was causing double-digit increases in a whole bunch of issues. And school districts were left holding the bag. School districts provide counseling, or in a lot of cases need to provide more counseling. And so a lot of it has to do with essentially what type of assistance school districts need to provide adolescents currently and going forward. And so basically we'd be filling out a series of forms, working hand in hand with folks in St. Helena. Our experience is that this does not put any extra burden on teachers individually. It's generally administrative type of information. And so the theory of how we're trying to couch this is it's almost an understanding of the demographics, because Meta's own internal studies are built on demographics. And so we would file as part of this class action lawsuit. It's called a multi-district litigation, MDL, and we would just see where it goes.
Thank you. And now we have another presentation from another attorney. We have Ms. Cheney, you have the-
Can I ask them one question though before they leave?
Yes.
Are there any other school districts in Louisiana that's joined the litigation so far?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So, yes. And the state of Louisiana as a whole has also filed.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So
How many other school districts?
off the top of my head, I don't know. I mean, I can tell you that I know that Jefferson Parish has filed, Lafourche Parish has filed, and then there are a number of other parishes that river parishes have filed. It has not really been as much in northern Louisiana. There have been more southern Louisiana parishes that have filed, but there are still a number that have not filed, including St. Helena.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Robert Fauché. So the first thing you'll probably want to know is why or how did I find out about St. Helena Parish? Well, I was talking to the superintendent's father, and he mentioned that when I was talking to him about the multi-district litigation concerning addictions, that his daughter was a superintendent. So that's how I recognize St. Helena Parish. Now, a little bit about me. I am presently the town attorney for Gramercy, Sorrento, and I served in the legislature for 12 years. I am presently a justice of the peace for the town of Gramercy. So I know as a public official, exactly the hard decisions that y'all make each and every day. I represent and am a part of litigation through the Milberg firm that has offices throughout the United States. And they recognize, just as it was presented just now, that there are addictions caused to high school students, elementary school students, and others, and that this addiction is causing harm to all of the children around the state and the country. There was a individual case brought in California that resulted in a $6 million judgment. There was litigation in New Mexico that resulted in a $375 million judgment. To get involved with a firm like Middleburg is an advantage because they pay all of the expenses for the litigation. They do a lot of the legwork, so you don't have to do the legwork. They go out and hire local counsel. One of the senior partners for Middleburg is a Louisiana resident, and that is Andrew Lemon. Mr. Lemon's father was previously on the Louisiana Supreme Court, and his mother presently serves in the U.S. District Court in Louisiana for the Eastern District of Louisiana. So our firm has ties to Louisiana as well as a national firm. Their main office is in Pittsburgh. They have offices throughout the United States. One of the associates that I've been dealing with recently is Srigan Dubey, and he is in the New York office. I have packets to pass out to y'all after my presentation. I've already, I think, emailed. Did you get my email?
I didn't.
Ms. Jules, I sent it to the general email address.
Okay.
And I've also presented an email to Randy. I would answer any questions y'all may have. I adopt what's been said by other counsel, and I think it's very important that St. Helena does something. Oh, one other thing. My son just acquired some property in St. Helena Parish. So I'm just not walking through the door. I don't remember the name of the subdivision, but it's got a big lake around it. Y'all know which one I'm talking about?
Tranquility Lake, probably.
Tranquility? Yeah. So any questions, I'll be glad to ask. And after my presentation, I'll present y'all with a total package on what we're doing. Thank y'all. Yes, ma'am.
You with that same law firm?
No, different
law
group.
firm, but you're advocating for the same.
Same kind of issues.
Same kind of issues.
Yes, ma'am. And this is to protect individual children. I call them children, but kids in high school. 77% of the high school students are addicted. And within the age group of 13 to 17, there's a 33% addiction rate. And there is an addiction rate that goes up as high as 95%. So Louisiana will need to have this done to help all the students.
Now, I have approached St. Charles Parish, and they're waiting to have other parishes that they know of join in. I've contacted the district attorney for St. John Parish, since they are legal counsel for the school board. And I've contacted the St. James Parish School District. And all of those, I am waiting to have my initial meetings with the superintendent and some of the board members. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, boy, you guys have heard from two firms. What do you guys want to do?
I would like to hear from our council, see what, see what he take, and then see what all will be involved for you to get into this. I'd like to hear from Mr. McPherson.
The selection of professional services contract is strictly a decision made by the board. I provided information to you all as the board itself can evaluate whether or not it wants to proceed with litigation. It can decide which firm it wants to select, if it want, or technically which joint venture, because both presentations involve a joint venture. One involves, I believe, the Duplessis law firm and the
Middleburg.
Capitelli and Wicker law firm.
Okay.
And the other joint venture is the Fauché law firm and the Milberg law firm out of Plano, Texas. And so, the board can decide tonight, or you can defer and make a decision later on whether or not it wants to retain one joint venture, both. It's strictly at the discretion of the board.
I would just say that, how much work would that involve for you?
Well, and as both presentations noted, there are no costs that are borne by the school board. It's certainly a win-win if the board decides to file a lawsuit against Meta, and there would be in terms of the recovery for the board, and the claim for the board, it's essentially the costs and the expenditures and the expenses that the board incurs as it relates to mental health services and other related services. Now, of course, the board provides mental health services for other reasons as well. So in terms of council's approach of electing to focus on which particular costs would in fact be eligible or viable to maintain that claim, that would certainly be something that would be decided then, as well as Meta's attorneys being able to poke holes and say, well, wait a minute, school board X or any political subdivision X, you all provide these services anyway. It's not as much as you all representing. So again, those are things that are somewhat in the weeds of litigation. But in terms of as with you all sitting as board members, what benefit is it of us to file this claim? That's essentially what it is, to recover those costs that have been incurred as a result of Meta litigation. And again, to be clear, the claim itself would be the claim for the school board, not for the individual students. And I'm not sure if that was clarified or not, but any prospective law firm would not be representing individual students. Whether or not individual students and their parents would elect to file separate claims, or whether those law firms, in fact, I don't know if you all can speak to that, of whether or not your joint ventures presently represent individual students.
We do not represent individual students. We do represent multiple school boards.
Okay.
It would only be school boards, no students.
Right. No. I'm asking, does either joint venture presently represent students and or their parents?
Not to my knowledge.
because that's a whole different claim anyway. It wouldn't be a claim for cost, it would be damages. My little Johnny has been damaged by Meta's, incessant acts and addictive strategies of addicting my Johnny to Facebook, Instagram, et cetera, et cetera.
And the case that occurred in California, that was a particular individual, or was that based on a school board?
Individual.
That was an individual.
Yes, the verdict that he referenced, the $6 million verdict that occurred, that was an individual student. The verdict that he referenced, that was in New Mexico, that was a statewide claim. That was not an individual.
Because that was like 300 million, so.
Yes, ma'am.
What y'all prefer to do?
I think you need
I
to
think
take this under advisement.
Well, we can do it next.
Let's do it next meeting.
Next meeting.
So can I get a motion to table it?
A motion that we table this item until our next meeting. We come back with an answer at our next meeting. One second.
Okay, motion by Ms. Bell that we table this item to the next month meeting. Second by Ms. Lolita Porter. Any questions? No questions? Should pass by general consent.
Thank you.
Item E, Superintendent's Report.
Yes, good evening, community. Good evening, board members. Just have some announcements I'd like to share with you all, but before I do, I'll ask Ms. Joelle Givens to please come forward to share her presentation about the STEAM program. We
Yes,
also have Mr. Muse. I don't know how you're gonna.
I'll
work that.
introduce him.
Okay.
First of all, we don't call it STEM, we call it STEAM because it involves the arts as well and agriculture. So it's got the A in STEM. California uses STEAM as their, but in Louisiana, most places say STEM. But all this started with the Artemis that went to the moon, and that it's not very dark up on the screen, but it has the trajectory of how that the trajectory of the flight that went around the earth, back around the moon, and back to the earth again. And what I feel like happened with our students is not only did they learn a great deal, but they felt like they had gone to the moon and viewed Earth from a different perspective, just like the astronauts did that went on Artemis, because that's what happened with them. They started first by doing a passport, and the passport, we had to register it with NASA, and it was put on a zip drive. All of their names were put into RISE. I don't know if you saw RISE floating around Artemis, but he was designed by an elementary school student, and he showed zero gravity for the astronauts. But so they played with him the whole time he was in there. It was also their toy. But all of our students' names went on board the Artemis 2 with RISE, up under RISE. And then with that same passport, the students designed a book that we could take to Houston on a trip that we were privileged to go on, with their name in it and all kinds of questions, not only the agenda, but questions and notes and places that they could answer. And guess what? Mine's not filled out, but I have the answer key. That's the good thing about being a teacher. So they enjoyed that. And also I wanted to tell you that we have been recognized as a community partner with NASA ACCP. And that is one of the areas that is education part of NASA. We've also do the GLOBE program. That's how we went to Colorado and upstate New York. So that's NASA also. So we keep going back to NASA because they're the ones that are pro at this. And they're the ones that know what they're doing. So with that being said, I gave you a certificate that shows that St. Helena Parish is a member of NASA ACCP. Yes. Your official site. Okay, so we're going to show you some pictures of our trip, but also we have a wonderful community volunteer, which we want to encourage more of, to work with our school systems and to help our students. It's amazing how much that has helped a community volunteer. And that's Mr. Deshaun Muse, and he's going to tell you about the trip to Houston.
Good afternoon, board members and Dr. Joseph and the public.
Just tell me when you need me to press the button.
Okay, so here is a group of kids, 10 learners that there was a point system that they had to achieve. So the top 10 students were able to go on the trip. So the STEAM team recently embarked on an unforgettable educational journey to Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, inspired by last year's NASA ACCP Space Camp, where Dr. Lakita Lowe, class of 1998, served as a guest speaker, and students became determined to visit the center and meet Dr. Lowe and experience the world of space exploration firsthand. Dr. Lowe personally arranged for the students to tour the famous neutral buoyancy lab. And if you get to a video, you can just mute it. The neutral buoyancy lab, home of a massive underwater mock-up for the International Space Station, where astronauts train for space missions. Students were amazed to witness how astronauts prepare for life and work in space through underwater simulations that closely mimic zero-gravity conditions. The group also received an exclusive tour of NASA's current Mission Control Center, where teams communicate directly with astronauts around the clock. Seeing live operations in action gave the students a deep appreciation for technology, engineering, communication, and teamwork required for successful space missions. The purpose of the trip was to determine how STEAM, education, science, technology, engineering, art, agriculture, and mathematics play a vital role, not only in space programs, but also throughout modern infrastructure and society. Every part of the experience became an opportunity for learning and growth. For several students, this was the first flight that they were taking. While others experienced turbulence for the first time. These moments themselves became lessons of resilience, problem solving, and real world science. We talked about in STEAM class about the forces of plane aerodynamics. So we had real bad turbulence, but they were able to understand the forces a little bit better. Throughout the trip, students applied skills and academic vocabulary they developed during the school year to better understand astronaut training, spacecraft engineering, and the scientific innovation. At the NASA Space Center, at the NASA Innovation Center, students design and launch rockets. Did you guys get
Yeah,
that?
it was in the first one.
Okay.
It was in the first one where they had class.
They design and launch rockets while learning to calculate trajectories. With the assistance of NASA instructors, they progress from hitting stationary targets to successfully reaching narrow target zones by using both the scientific method and the engineering design process. The students demonstrated creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking skills that allowed them to truly soar above expectations. On the final day of the trip, it included a visit to the Houston Museum of Natural Science. During the paleontology exhibit, the student Deron Cook impressed museum staff and visitors alike with his extensive knowledge of fossils and prehistoric life. His enthusiasm and expertise were so remarkable that several guests assumed he was a young curator. Recognizing his passion, the museum's director of fossils invited the entire group into the fossil lab, where students participated firsthand on fossil excavation activities and received a piece of fossilized wood to take home as a memorial keepsake. As the trip came to a close, the students encountered another source of inspiration, St. Helena alumnus Miss Shaquan Melton, who's now a flight attendant for Southwest Airlines. Meeting successful alumni working in professional careers reinforced the message that students from St. Helena can achieve greatness in many different fields. This journey was more than a field trip. It was a transformative education experience that exposed students to science, engineering, aviation, history, teamwork, and career opportunities. The St. Helena STEAM team represented the parish of St. Helena with excellence, curiosity, and determination every step of the way. This experience was proved once again that St. Helena truly is winning. I would like to thank Ms. Givens, Dr. Joseph, and the school board, and anybody else that helped put this trip together, because this was a once in a lifetime experience, and the students really did represent the district well.
Did you say that there were two alumni that you met
Yeah,
on this trip?
So Dr. Lowe, she's my classmate. We graduated together. She is the
Lead.
she's the lead research and innovation director for the International Space Station. She's responsible for everything that's delivered into lower Earth orbit. A lot of people don't know that they're rebuilding another space station called Axiom. She would be responsible for delivering all of those CubeSats, or what they call, and boxed items, I think is what they call, up into space to build the space station. So our very own St. Helena alumnus is building stuff in space and responsible for that.
And who's the second?
Ms. Shaquan Melton. I don't know what class, but she's from Greensburg, I think right under the hill, and she is a flight attendant for Southwest. She's based out of Houston, Texas.
That's the daughter of Miss Donna Milton.
Yes. And the kids, everywhere we went, they recognized the kids in a positive way.
Absolutely. This is the end of the trip. As you can see, all the boys are sitting down. They have played out. They couldn't go any further. And when we came back from the we got out of the airplane, we were all looking for that St. Helena bus, and they were so excited when they saw that St. Helena bus. It was time to go home because we had sat in the airport. We had a delay, and they even, in the corner, they were all sitting. They all sat there and prayed that we could get on that plane. So when we got to the airport, they were amazed that there was the bus and that we were able to come home. It was late, but we made it. And that was the end. But that's just the beginning.
How many days were you?
4 days and 3 nights. Yes. Do the next one if you don't mind. This is the next thing that's going to happen, and that's our summer camp, the STEAM summer camp. And I'll give you these flyers so that you can help give them out. Excuse the back because it's recycled. That's what I teach, is recycling. So, so I had to recycle the bulletins, the flyers as well. But our goal with the STEAM team is to do things that AI cannot do. Those skills like team dynamics, creative problem solving, critical thinking. We have one young man here that he had a sea perch, an underwater robot. He went to competition at LSU, and we went to competition at Southeastern. His motor fell off at Southeastern as he was in the course. He was determined he was going to finish that course. So we had 3 motors, one fell off. He turned around and went backwards through the course. Now, if that is not critical thinking, so let's give Elijah a hand for that. Elijah D. Okay. The other thing is experiential learning. We want to experience it because we understand it better. They did not understand the word trajectory at all until all this came about, and much more vocabulary. They didn't, there, I learned a lot of vocabulary because it's all new to me as well, but I can learn. I can still learn as well. It's all hands-on. So those students that might not do well academically are now increasing academically because they have something applied with those academics. So we do math, we do science, we do English. They have to write, they have to do technical reports for every competition that we go to. And hopefully that will improve test scores. I have no way of tracking that, but I would love to be able to track it if anybody has any ideas. But the main thing that we're trying to do is inspire their curiosities for their future careers. And that's what we're going to do this summer. If you'll look up at the board, the one thing that our goals this summer are to do bridge building. We have a civil engineer coming in from DOTD that's going to do the CAD program to design the bridges, and then we're going to build the bridges. We have a nutritionist coming that's going to teach us how to eat like an astronaut, because our students do not eat well. I see them, they snack, you know, and if they bring their lunch from home, it's usually snacks. It's not good food, you know. So that's what we want to do that. And we'll teach them to dehydrate some fruit while we're at it, and maybe even do some solar oven things. So all these will have other activities that go along with it. The NASA ACCP and NASA has provided us, because there's a whole live binder of thousands of activities that we can do that support all of the STEAM program. Okay, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to work with agronomists and do some aquaponics, hydroponics, just a small demonstration of how that they can use in space water to grow plants, just like we do here on Earth. And we'll have fish in with our water as well to help provide the nitrogen for the plants. And so they're going to understand a lot more about chemicals. By the way, my favorite part of that trip was the Natural Science Museum, because when we first walked in, there was a whole floor of the chemical elements. They had music going to it, and they had something going up on the screen that you had to find that element. So here are kids dancing and running around trying to find elements. We had a blast with it. If we had the possibility of having some of the things that they had, and some of that we're starting with our literacy lab, there's no telling how our students would soar, because it's all hands-on experiential learning. Okay, they were lifting levers. What did you lift? A piano? They lifted a piano with levers, so they understand leverage completely. We're going to have somebody that starts certification for drone. We will not have time to finish it, but we want it started, and then they can finish it on their own, or they can take a course as we add that to our high school curriculum. The other thing that we're going to have is, and I don't think I listed it, GIS. We're going to have a person coming in. Yes, it is there. We're going to have a specialist coming in from Entergy that's going to just introduce them. I see introduction misspelled, I'm sorry. That explains to them what GIS is. So if they're interested, then if we start that course in high school, then they would be interested in taking that. Architecture, we have one student in our group that is definitely interested in architecture. So I'm looking for an architect that can explain to us how to build architecture in unusual situations, like medical, that has to have certain specifications. And then we're going to build a Mars habitat. And they'll have to look at what the soil is made up on Mars, the minerals that are available, all that kind of stuff, to be able to build that habitat, because we can't carry everything from Earth to build it. Last year at camp, we already figured out that that from the regolith, that's the soil on the moon, that they could 3D print habitats. And guess what? NASA's doing that. That's exactly what they're going to do. And we found out that there were volcanic tubes that they could actually build this inside of in the moon that would help protect our astronauts, protect them from radiation and the extreme temperatures that are on the moon. So we're learning, and as we learn, we're learning that NASA has some of the same ideas. Believe it or not, our students have them. You're talking about, they have it. We're just not using it well enough to be able to accomplish what we need to. So we have more students that are actually professionals in these fields. We're going to LOMCOM. I have a reservation there, and that's the marine biology lab that's down in Cocodrie, and they're going to teach us about ecosystems and how St. Helena's water goes down to the wetlands and how it affects the wetlands. We're going to have a forester come in that we're going to go over to Greensburg Park. We're going to measure those virgin pine trees, the diameter, the height, and estimate how much carbon that wood captures. So I want us to prove to the wetlands that we capture more carbon than they do. Because our carbon, not only is it captured in wood, but when the wood is cut and made into lumber, the carbon stays in it. Unless you burn the lumber, the carbon stays in it. But if you destroy the wetlands, it's gone. Now, I know y'all know what carbon capture is because we have this big thing that's coming up on Lake Marpole. So we need to investigate that more and learn more about it so that we know when things come up like that, is that going to protect our environment? What should we be doing this or not? There are big grants coming out of that, but I don't have an opinion about it. I'm asking NASA. I'm asking them, what do they think? Okay. And as we go along, the students will learn. We're going to do some community service projects, like we're going to, with the Lieutenant Governor's office, we're going to do Keep Louisiana Beautiful. We're going to pick up trash as we go to the park. We've got picker-uppers and gloves. And we'll work with the Lieutenant Governor's office with that. And we're going down, hopefully, if we can schedule all this, we're going to go to St. Bernard Parish and work with the Coastal Restoration nonprofit that has a celebration, because they gather shells from restaurants in New Orleans and they bag them and they ship them out to the barrier islands to help protect us here in Louisiana. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing this summer, but I want these students to be able to tell you what they learned from. We have a few students here. Would all of you come forward and each of you speak just a sentence or two? I know you're nervous. Come on up here. One by one, tell them what. They made some good friends, I can tell you. Come on, everybody. Right up here. Parish, you want to go first? He wrote a newspaper article for us, so you'll be seeing it in the news before long. Parish, you go first.
Hello, I'm Hars. I'm sure I've met a few of you. Sorry if I don't remember your names. When we went on the trip to Texas, my favorite place that we went to was Rocket Park, which is where the Saturn V is currently being kept, the full rocket. And it was awesome. The Saturn V was almost 2 football fields long.
Is that this?
Yes, that the big one in the top photo, not the one in the side. That building is 2 football fields long and it barely fits in there. It had to be built around the rocket because there's no other way to get it in there. I just loved seeing all the engineering that went into it. It was just really, really cool.
Parish, tell them what you want to become.
I wanted to become an engineer for NASA so I could build stuff like this.
Thank you.
And Horace is on track to do that, to doing that. He is graduating tomorrow.
Yes. While we were
So we're
in
excited
Rocky
about
Park. So tell them what you discovered, please.
Well, I calculated for the thrust of that rocket in the first picture above, the Saturn V rocket, which I compared it to the other rockets that we've seen outside of the rocket park, and I managed to figure out the exact amount of force and thrust it would take to just move something as big as that off the ground.
No paper, it was mental math. What do you want to do, Alice? If at all possible, what would you like to do in your career?
Either become an astronaut or someday work for NASA.
And what are you doing to prepare yourself for that?
I'm personally teaching myself physics at home on paper.
She started when she came back, going through a book of basic physics, high school physics. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Jacelyn. My favorite part of our trip was probably the buoyancy lab. I thought that it was pretty cool to see where the astronauts actually trained, and it was pretty amazing to see. The pool itself was actually like 40 meters down, and it took 4 weeks to fill up. And also, just the pool floor was 7 feet thick, so that the water, because of the pressure, so that the pool wouldn't collapse. But that was my favorite part.
And what do you want to do? What have you about decided? She starts college next year.
I'm a little undecided right now, but I am like leaning towards science or maybe teaching, like Miss Joelle.
All right.
Thank you.
We teachers.
He's not much of a speaker, but he's a thinker.
So
He's
my
just
favorite
nervous.
part of it was the technology, how it advanced for the problems of the modern day, and how they evolved it for the new capabilities that it would have, such as doing the figure 8 in 10 days. While the Apollo 11 took a long time to come back.
Why did it take so long? You remember?
Well, they had many issues, such as the carbon capturing and how they had to duct tape it onto the socket to filter it.
To filter the CO2, and that's how they made it back. They had to get a filter from another part of the rocket to be able to put it in the space they had to live to be able to get back to Earth.
Alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did well. Last time he froze up on us. This time he's doing better. Okay, gentlemen, thank you. Tell us, what was your favorite?
The mission control.
Why?
Because we had to explore different parts of it.
And that's the mission control. They were controlling the ISS at the time.
You're the
So Dr.
pre-paleontologist, right? That's you in the picture? Who's this?
No.
Oh, that's Deron. Is he here? Okay.
Yeah, Deron didn't come tonight. I don't know why, but I was hoping he would tell you which dinosaur that was up there. Because he not only could tell you the name of the dinosaur, he could tell you why it had that name. And he took us all the way through hundreds of reptiles from the beginning to the extinction of the dinosaur, naming every one of them. Therefore, I'm challenging you to learn more. We talked to the paleontologist that was there on staff, and he told us the books that he needed, what he needed to study to get ready for that. So that's his passion. So thank you. What do you want to be? Do you know yet? Not sure yet. Okay.
Are these parents that are with the kids?
Pardon?
Are these our parents that are with the kids?
Yes, yes.
Would
the
you all like
parents as
to
well?
say a few words?
Yes. Stand up for us, please. We thank you, parents, for sharing with us.
However, Alice is asking to take physics this summer online because St. Helena doesn't offer it at the school. So she is taking initiative to learn outside. She loves the program. She's very excited about everything that is to come. She's a freshman this year, going to be a sophomore next year. We're excited to see where she goes with STEAM.
Good. Congratulations.
Make sure you get some flyers before you leave. And we are looking for learners that are self-learners. Because we are only an impetus as the schools, a catalyst to get them, push them forward. But they have to want to learn, and they have to dig for it to be able to become astronauts or chemists or scientists. They have to dig into it. I mean, otherwise they could just be a laborer, right? Okay, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any comments at all about the presentation?
I'm gonna want some of that for my solar.
Ms. Gibbons,
Yes.
you said hydroponics. You going to do a hydroponic experiment or?
Yeah, we're gonna set up an aquarium and have a basic understanding of it. And we're going to visit a couple of farms along the way to other places and watch how they do it.
There's a big hydroponic tomato farm in the 6th district. I don't know.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, if you're interested, I could talk.
Oh, please do. I'd love
See
to
if
know
they can
about that.
Come up there with us.
Yeah, each thing that I can learn about from St. Helena Parish, I'm trying to do it because
Right.
they need to know that. That's why I'm doing the forestry, because we are
That's
forestry.
us. I'll check into it.
Okay.
I would just like to say to the learners, keep up the good work.
Yes, yes. I also want to thank Mr. Muse for all of his service. Ms. Joelle, you're doing a fabulous job with all of the kids. When I'm around you, I learn something new all the time. This is awesome stuff because we're preparing kids for their future. So I of course don't know all of the things, and we have to learn and grow together, but we know that we're doing it, for the betterment of our kids. So whatever we need to do to prepare you for that, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm writing down the physics class. I know we have that online that you can take over the summer, and I'll get with you all to talk more about that and see what we can do to, add more courses during the school year to help support what they're doing in this, in the club. So this is some awesome stuff. And then we have the 2 alumni from St. Helena that was there helping and supporting. So we're very excited about that as well.
We got to meet the director of NASA.
Yes.
Yeah, we just happened to meet him in the lobby. And they started asking him questions, and for 30 minutes, he was explaining and answering their questions about NASA.
That's awesome.
Amazing. And we also found out that we can put in a request for the astronauts that went on Artemis 2, and especially Victor Glover, and the woman that went as well, because our students really connect with those 2. And we can put in a request for them to come speak to our class, to our school. So, wouldn't that be wonderful? I don't know if we can get it, but we're gonna try.
We could also look into getting a comparison advocate for Iran. And one other thing that we're gonna do this year is the GBE program, Grow Beyond Earth, where NASA will send us a kit and we can grow in the same compartments and use the stuff that they use to grow stuff in the International Space Station in hopes that we could develop techniques that they can use to grow better plants on the space station.
That's great. They're doing that for all the schools that want to apply, but there's a limited number of it.
I just want to say quickly, I'm working with Dr. Schaefer on getting some additional funding for her. You're familiar with Dr. Schaefer? Yeah, and this is going to really help when I show that to my funder, what you guys have done. And didn't you do something in the Midwest last year, a year or so ago? Didn't you go in the Midwest and win something? I told them that, and they were very excited. And if you have anything that on paper that I could, and you can show me what you did, that would really be helpful.
Okay. Be glad to.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
You want? I'm in awe. Thank you. Thank you. You all are doing a fabulous job. And so whatever it is we need to do to help support all of that work that you're doing, we're going to be there to
That's
do
what
it.
you've done, and I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Let's give them another. All right, a couple other things I'd like to share with you all. Graduation. We're at the end of the school year. Today was the last day, and it was a half day. Kindergarten had their graduation yesterday. Our sixth graders had it today, and tomorrow at 6 o'clock, we will be celebrating all of our graduates from St. Helena College and Career Academy. So we're excited about the future that they have, and the future's looking bright. I also want to share that our annual virtual academy will be, registration will start on Monday. This is where we provide summer school for anybody in the state, anybody in this country actually, who would like to participate in our summer virtual academy, where kids who may have failed a course that need to, retake the course, or want to advance their studies, or just do an audit, those opportunities will be available for them during the summer. Also, we have sent out our 2026-2027 school year information. We're trying to get it out as early as possible, and as the board approves different documents such as our handbook, uniform changes, or anything of that nature, we will just update that website. So that link has been shared with the community already, just to give them, more time to be able to prepare for the next school year, and that they can see the initiatives that we are looking at implementing that new school year. I want to also thank you. I think it was Dr. Lowe that gave me this gift. So I want to thank her publicly for thinking of me. I really appreciate it. It's 2 pens, a Nassau pen, and very nice. So thank you.
ISS
And
is the other one. It's kind of hard to figure out what it is, but
Uh-huh.
that's what it is. the
Well,
ISS.
thank you. Thank you so very much for that, Dr. Lowe, from St. Helena. I'm going to ask and put you on the spot, Ms. Nettles, just to give us a little snippet about iReady and what we're doing this year that's different from last year to get our kids prepared for the new school year.
Because I knew that I came prepared. So this year we are working with the learners to ensure that they were passing the lessons and they weren't just working on it over hours. So I have some data for y'all. We had 344 learners that are part of the Summer Learning Academic Requirement Program. I have 344 learners. As of May 14th, that's today, the updated data was sent to me that put in the spreadsheet and then provided to the administrators. We have a total number of 252 learners that have completed the summer academic requirement. We still have 92 learners that have to complete this academic requirement. They have until June 4th. But I wish Mr. McPherson would be here. I would like to share with y'all his vision that him and I were talking about, how are we going to make sure that the parents and learners are able to, these 92 learners, their parents are able to track their learning. And he has come up with the Hawk portal. So it is just a very simplistic portal where the parents can visit hawkportal.net. They put in the child's first and last name and the data comes up. It shows how many lessons they have left to complete, how many lessons they've passed, and then when they are done and complete with their iReady, and many of the learners already received their certificates, they receive their certificate saying that they have completed their academic requirement for the 2026 Summer Learning Program. It's more seamless than what it was last year. because we don't have to make calls, and that way the parents can actually just go online and check their progress.
And more importantly, we started earlier this
We
year.
did.
We started before the end of the school year so that our learners can get a heads up on completing that work.
Well, I'm always gonna play the devil advocate. So school ended today. You said you have 90-something learners,
92, yes.
92 learners that are left.
Out of the
So
300.
Out of 300.
the issue is, and I know the issue that parents are gonna have is, well, I don't have a computer. I don't have the internet. How are these learners gonna be held accountable?
Right, because
They have cell phones, I know that. They use them all the time. But I know what the issue is gonna be. I'm just wondering how we're gonna address that.
And I did speak with the library, and they have over 25 laptops, Chromebooks, that the learners can use at the library to complete their work.
But have we sent a letter to these parents?
Yes.
Okay, because guess what? I want to hold parents accountable.
Yes, ma'am.
Not kids, parents as well, as accountable for their learners completing the work. So I don't want to wait till July and I start getting phone calls because
Right.
they're gonna call me.
Yes, ma'am.
And me. So I just
And
want to
me.
know how the strategy is gonna work.
Right. And they also received a document, a parent document that just kind of basically tells them how they can check their learners' progress, but they don't need to do it now because we have the HAWK portal that they can go on, but it also tells them how to get online.
Well, I don't know. I never did receive this through the mail. I never did get this from my child. Can we put that on social media? That HAWK portal. I mean, let's utilize it, right? Put it
This
on.
actually just came into fruition this morning.
Okay, so we need to put it on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Make it out on reel
And when is
for the
deadline, Ms.
parents.
Nevels?
June 4th.
We need to blast that now. June 4th is the last day.
And Ms. Nellis, do the parents have the understanding it's not like it was last year? You have to just put 20 hours in.
Right.
Do they have the understanding that they have
Everyone
to
was-
pass those lessons?
Yes, the pass of the lessons.
Not do the 20 lessons, but
They have to pass the lessons, not just
Okay.
completing lessons. They
All
have to pass the lessons. Yes, ma'am.
So today was the last day. So we send letters home with the kids today?
So Mr. McPherson and the principals had to come to the school to actually sign and get the report cards and the notification for the learners that still have to complete the work.
So how many parents, so when the report card is gonna be issued?
I'm not sure when they will be issued. I know the rest of them may be mailed, but the ones that still have to complete those report cards, those parents have to come and sign for the report card and the notification.
So if they don't come sign for them, somebody need to deliver them to, well, who's the trusted person? Let them be delivered to their house. I mean, because guess what? I want to hold these parents accountable.
And Ms. Nellis, we were gifted
We
portable
cannot be the
computers,
one.
laptops. Now, if you get calls from parents saying they don't have computers, now we can make the center, multi-purpose center.
Okay.
Somebody there during the day, there's internet, high-speed internet, their computers there. So if they need it, we need to make that accessible to some of the parents.
Okay.
Let me know and I'll get somebody to man that center and let them come in. It's only 20 laptops. but
Okay.
they're there.
Well, that's good to know. Also, I want to share with y'all, last year, I'm also over the in-person Dibbles Summer Remediation Program that begins June 1st through the 16th. Last year, we had 22 learners that had to be remediated because they actually scored well below on the end of the year. And this year, we have 11. So we,
Closing the gap.
Closing the gap. Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
So
And I
where the
think we-
most students are at, Ms. What school?
We're going to have it at the high school from
No,
June
no.
1st.
How many students say is at the high school? How many is at Shadow?
Oh, that need to do
That need to do that remediation. The remediation.
The
Out of those
I-ready
90,
or the?
out of those 92
I-ready.
students.
92.
Yes. She said, where's the most coming from, your biggest number?
It's
Yeah,
in
the
high
most-
school or shadow.
That's only shadow.
Shadow because the.
Oh, the high.
Yeah, because it's only 7th and 8th
Yeah.
at the high school. And with St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy, it's grades 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
And the other, the Dibbles or the
And then
and what, that's third grade?
the K2 is.
The 11 that need to come during the.
Oh, that's the Devil's Literacy.
That's the Devil's Literacy.
So we're gonna test them again, their third attempt, after they have their 2 weeks of intervention. We're gonna test them on the 15th and 16th. If and double notifications were sent out to these parents through the mail with them, letting them know that on the 15th and 16th, if they still score well below in that third attempt, because of Act 422, they will be retained in the third grade.
So we're gonna provide transportation for them and those
Yes, ma'am.
that's been communicated to the parents.
Yes, ma'am, this information has been all mailed and given to them. The bus pickup points, the times, the letters, yes, ma'am.
So for the public record, parents, if you have not received your information, you should be responsible for contacting the school that your child or your learners attend to get that information. Just for the public record.
Any other comments, board members? Well, thank you. And my last thing, we had our grand opening of our literacy and learning lab, and I just wanted to share a video with you all that was done by Flying Ghost Productions. So I'll just play that so you can get an idea of what the day was. And I want to thank all of the board members who were able to come and experience and help us with that ribbon cutting.
Reading a book will take you around the world. I want to thank you all for joining us here as we celebrate our great opening of our Literacy and Learning Lab this morning, because this space represents an opportunity, growth, and the commitment to ensure that every learner on our campus and every learner in this parish becomes a strong and confident reader.
This is beautiful, and the fact that we can bring this kind of innovation to St. Helena for our children is exciting.
We cut the ribbons, we saw the mascot, and it's a beautiful place in here, and we get to play some games.
Dr. Joseph and her team take basically almost a year worth of work for everybody to come together to build something for the kids that they can enjoy, that is a space they can call their own. It's a place where they can come, and as we like to say, we can kind of trick them into learning to read, do puzzles, work on literacy. It's the number one thing that we need to be working on as a community, is getting parents and kids engaged, and then the rest will just follow right after.
I want to commend Dr. Joseph, the school board, all the stakeholders for coming together, putting this plan together to show our kids that anything is possible.
It is an opportunity for the kids, for their imagination, and we're so grateful. It is such a wonderful space.
This is just awesome. This is an awesome experience. This is for the entire community, not just for the kids who attend school here, but for everyone within St. Helena Parish. So we invite everyone to come out and see the great things that we have. We're making learning fun. We're making reading fun. So come on out and experience this space.
St. Helena winning!
So the Literacy and Learning Lab has a lot of features in it. 2 kiosks where the kids can actually go on and do some play with the apps that are connected to literacy, a lot of English. We have a big Scrabble board on the wall. The kids can actually go in and play Scrabble. We have all of the walls are wrapped so the kids can write on the walls and do all of the different activities that are on the walls. We have a little stage where we can do poetry slams and all kind of other activities. We have reading corners. We have just a lot of technology placed in a nice, beautiful tree in the middle where the kids can sit and read and just enjoy reading, develop that love of reading, and just have fun in that great space. So we want to absolutely thank the Family Resource Group, Mr. Brandon Foreman, who's the CEO, and also Terry Hodges, who we work with just about every day, getting that space prepared. So just like we have the maker space at the high school, where all of the teachers can sign up for a session, and the bus will pick them up and bring them there. We now have the literacy and learning lab, where same thing can happen there. So we're focusing on STEM or STEAM in our makerspace, and then now the literacy lab at the Early Learning Center. And so the next stop will be at the A&T, where we'll be doing some stuff in their collaborative spaces. So I'm looking forward to that work. But just want to thank our staff for putting on a great day, because we also on that day recognize all of our stakeholders through our second annual luncheon. So we recognize everyone who are partners in education, and we want to just say again publicly, thank them for all of the work that they've done to help us move our vision forward. So thank you to our kids, thank you to our parents, thank you to all of our teachers and our community supporters. Thank you, board, for allowing all of this to occur. It was a great week. We're at the end of the school year, as I stated. Today was the last day. So we are now planning to have an even greater 2026-2027 school year. And with that, that concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you, Dr. Joseph. Next item, approved committee reports, May 14th, 2026.
That's so moved.
Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter,
Second.
second by Ms. Lolita Porter. Any questions? No questions, shall pass by general consent. Item G, executive session. Can I get a motion that we go into executive
I
session?
move we go into executive.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Alton Travis, second by Ms. Bell, that we go into executive session. Any questions? No questions, shall pass by general consent. We shall return. The meeting is now back in order. Can I get a motion that we return from executive session?
I move we return from executive session.
I second it.
Motion by Mr. Alton Travis that we return from executive session, second by Ms. Joyce Porter. We were updated on the following items for executive session, but I do need a motion for one item, and that's to improve the reimbursement to LOCA for a subrogation claim made by Safeway Insurance in the amount of $3,369.38 related to property damage sustained on April 14, 2025. The claim number for LOCA is LCA 0032580. Can I get a motion?
I so move.
Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter. Second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Virginia Bell. Any questions? If there is no question, it should pass by general consent. Announcements of the next meeting. The next meeting date will be June the 11th, 2026. How? If that's we're gonna be at Lord Cook. Can we have a meeting from there?
Nope.
Why? Look.
Unless you're gonna open it up to people coming in.
We're gonna be
have it. Let's post it. We opening it up at Log Cooking. They want to drive down there.
I mean, if you want,
You're gonna have to do it on video.
A video.
Yeah, if you're not sitting here and you're not in the parish, you're gonna have to have,
We do everything on video.
you're gonna have to have a Teams meeting so you can answer questions from everybody in the audience.
We'll look into that, but I don't think you're right.
We do have it set up for it if need be.
Yeah.
Through Zoom though, not Teams.
She can do it, so I'm telling you, you're gonna cover yourself.
Yeah, it's already set up.
okay, so our next meeting date will be June 11th, 2026 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at Log Cook.
Sweet.
We're gonna be there anyway for our board retreat, right? So you can make that happen via Zoom. We will be going via Zoom for our June 11th, 2026 meeting hosted from Baton Rouge, Louisiana on LSU campus at Log Cook. We're reporting live. Closing comments, board members. I would just like to say that tomorrow night is graduation, 6 o'clock on the football field. And Mr. Travis, this is our last graduation. So I would love for you to be there. Okay, this is our last one, 4 of us on the board, because we are terming out, we're signing out. So I would love for us all to be able to march tomorrow. I don't know what's going on with Mr. Hughes. I will reach out to him as well. But he probably running again. But the 4 of us, Bells, Mr. Travis, Ms. Porter, and myself, we're signing out. This is our last graduation. So I would love for us to all march tomorrow. Okay? And show the learners our support. We will have reserved parking in front of the stadium. So Mr. Gregory Tillery, he's here in the audience. I would love for you to be able to, get us through the crowd because the traffic get a little. Thank you, Mr. Tillery, for the agreeing to that. Thank you for making sure that we get into that.
We will do what we did last year and put up signs for y'all.
Okay.
That works.
So you take care of the other side. Okay.
Some of them.
All right, and I would just like to say kudos to all our learners that's with STEAM and that's eager to learn. That's what it takes. Be willing to learn.
And kudos to the ribbon cutting on Wednesday. It was a blast. It was nice. If you haven't went to ELC to visit their new literacy lab, do so. You will be amazed. You will really be amazed.
Okay, so any other comments? We're signing off live here at the St. Helena Parish School Board. Can I get that last motion? This meeting is adjourned.